Hi, so here we are going to present our JComponent review on VLSI verification methodologies. Our project is to verify the functionality of binary to gray code converter using system builder. So we are a group of 3 members. We are going to present the review. So I'm Chinju Andos and I'm going to deal with the first few slides. So this is our complete architecture for verifying the design. So it consists of a DUT, an agent, environment, and the test. So DUT is nothing but the device under test. That is here binary to gray code converter. So next is the agent. Generator, driver, and monitor comprises of the agent. So agent along with scoreboard comprises the environment. So this entire block diagram shows the test. Here we are using constrained random test case. Now let's go to the detailed description of entire modules. First, we will see the device under test. It is nothing but the binary to gray code converter. Here we are going to check the functionality of binary to gray code converter. Here we are using a 4-bit binary to gray code converter. So in this picture, we can see that how the conversion is happening. So to convert a binary to gray code, the first most significant bit is directly taken to get the gray most significant bit, and the next bits are found by an XOR operation. So the first bit of the binary will be XORed with the next significant bit, and we will get the next significant gray bit. Likewise, this functionality will be continued until we get the entire gray code. So inside our program, we have declared our input and output, that is B and G. B is nothing but the binary input and G is the gray code output. Along with this, we have used some certain signals like clock, reset, valid, etc. So we have designed such a way that only at the postage of reset, this entire things will be working, and also at the postage of clock, and even if the valid is equal to 1, then only the entire block will be working. So this is the way we have done for the binary to gray code converter. So we are going to check the functionality of this binary to gray code converter, which is our design under test. So the first block which we are going to deal with, transaction. So transaction defines the pin level activity generated by the agent. It is actually nothing but it generate the stimulus which are required to generate, and we write all the stimulus which we need inside the transaction. So the transaction will actually act as a placeholder for activity monitored, which is monitored by the monitor. So in this program, we can say that the stimulus is B and we have to get the output G. So both of the things are declared in the program. We have to randomize the input B. So we have written it as rand bit. And next, if we have to give any constraints for the input B, we have to give the constraints like constraints C more like here we have given constraints like it should not go below 2 or it should not go beyond 12. So we have given a constraint statement here. So next we have given a function to display all the inputs and outputs of this program. So overall the transaction is like we have to write all the field, that is the input and output which we require. Moving on to the next module, it is generator. It is actually declared as a class and it actually generates the stimulus and send it to the driver. The main function is like it will create and randomize the packets which they got by the transaction, and it is put into the mailbox. So mailbox is nothing but it is used to send the randomized transaction to driver. So here we can see that a mailbox is declared. So it transfer the packets from generator to driver. Here we have declared a repeat count. So I have told that we have to generate the transaction. So we have to say how many times we have to generate that transaction. That is given inside this repeat count. So how many times it is going to generate depends on the repeat count. In our program, we have given repeat count as 4 and it will be described later. And here we have declared mailbox and we have created handle and we have access generator to driver mailbox using this function. And then we have also declared one event ended. That is, it is used to show the end of the transaction. We need to know when is the end of transaction. So to indicate the end of the transaction, we have used that event. So this is the entire explanation of generator. After that, it will check whether the transactions are generated or the packets are generated or not. If there is any error, it will display as transformation failed, or else it will put the things into the driver and the further things will be continued. After completing the generator part, we can go to the next part, which will be explained by Chippy Joseph.
I will be explaining the driver, monitor, and scoreboard part. The main role of driver is to interact with the design under test. It pulls the transaction and sends continuously to the interface. So driver's functionality is limited in sending the necessary data into the DUT. There is a mailbox declared here. It is generator to driver. So actually a mailbox was already declared in generator. The same mailbox is declared here also. That is the values that is generated by the generator is accessed by the driver from this mailbox. And there is a task here. It is for resetting the driver, and once it start resetting, the virtual interface values are set to 0. Then there is a main task in which all the valid transactions are continuously given to the interface. It is done using a forever loop, and after passing each transaction, there is a count of transaction which is getting incremented after each transaction. And this is the driver part, and next is the monitor part. In the monitor part, the main function of this module is that it observes the communication of DUT with the test bench, and it observes the output of the design, and also it returns an error if the protocol rules are not met. And it also observes input of DUT for functional coverage analysis. Here also another mailbox is declared, which lies between the monitor and the scoreboard. And to the mailbox, the all the values which are generated are put into the mailbox from monitor, and the score so that the scoreboard can access these values from this mailbox. And it also checks whether the interface signals are valid or not, and it puts the transaction to the mailbox. This is also done using a forever loop. Inside that, all the values are put into the monitor to scoreboard mailbox. And this is the monitor part. And going to the scoreboard. Scoreboard is actually for self-checking purpose, and it verifies the proper operation of a design at the functional level. And this module actually varies from design to design. In almost all the test bench architectures, this part will be taking a little time to design, since it depends on our design under test. Since our design is binary to gray code converter, we have taken the conditions inside the scoreboard in such a way that whether the proper operation of binary to gray code is uh, getting or not. If that condition is getting as a true value, then it displays the result. It displays as the result is expected. And if any error comes at any point during this operation, then we will get as it is getting a wrong result. And after each transaction, here also that number of transaction is incremented. And this is all about scoreboard, and the remaining slides will be explained by Kodi Della Rohini.
This is Rohini. I'm going to explain about the environment, test, and test bench top. First, we move on to the environment. Environment is nothing but container class for grouping high-level components like agents and scoreboard. And environment creates a mailbox, generator, and drivers. Environment will shares the mailbox handle across the generator and driver. And generator driver activity can be divided and controlled in three methods. First one is pre-test. Pre-test is a method to call initializer, that is nothing but reset method. And next move on to the second one, that is nothing but test. Test is a method to call stimulus generation and stimulus driving. And last one is post-test. It is a method to wait the completion of gesture and driving. Next, we move on to the test. Yeah, and this is a random test. In program, test is declared as program and repeat count of generator as 4. It is nothing but we are going to generate 4 packets. And next we are move on to the test bench stop. This test bench stop, it is the topmost file which connects the DUT and test bench. Test bench stop consists of DUT, test and interface instances. In this test bench, here in this program we are declaring the clock and reset signals, and coming to the DUT instance, interface signals are connected to the DUT ports. And next we are go to the output. Here generator will generate the binary as 5. In generator, gray output is 0. And next it goes to the driver. In driver, output gray is generated as 7. And next it goes to the monitor. In monitor also will get the same output. And next it go to the scoreboard. It will show like result is expected. Next we'll go to the simulation. In simulation, we gave the binary input is 5. For that corresponding gray output is 7. And next gray input is binary input is 12. Corresponding gray output as 10. In program we mentioned like generator count as 4. So for every 4 cycles we'll get the output. Conclusion will explain Chippy.
Okay. As a group of 3 members, we have designed the binary to gray code converter as well as a test bench for generating the test cases and testing our and verifying our design. So the design documentation and coding part is done by Chinchu Eldos and me, and for the design and debugging part, the main contribution is from Codidella Rohini. And finally, we have got the expected result as the constraint. The inputs were given as constraint from 2 to 12, and all those were met, and our design is verified properly. So, thank you so much.